blade on the saw center. Here we are. This will come with your machine. There's your saw centers and any tools, Allen keys, etc. that you might need. So that is mounted on there. If you could see underneath here, there's a lever underneath here. And by releasing that, this will move sideways, laterally in any direction, according to which angle you wish to grind. Also, underneath here, you have a control there, which is a quick release lever. And on this side, if you bring the camera around here, please, Craig, there. So that is locked. That is locked. 1, 2, 3. All three have to be locked. And then you've got no further movement when you're actually coming in to grind. This has to be slack. And then you can move the saw in. Let me put my glasses on. Right, what I'll do now, I'll switch the machine on. No, I won't. 2 seconds. Plug this in. Right, we'll switch her on. And then I can go in, because this is the only bit that is loose, I can bring this in up against this little indexing finger and bring the saw, the face of the tooth, up against the grinding wheel. And then I go on to the next tooth. And then I go on to the next tooth, and I'm just turning it manually. Then I go on to the next tooth, I'm turning it, bring it, and I'm taking the saw blade forward so that the face of the tooth, that's where I'm pointing now, there, the face of the tooth is married up to the face of the diamond wheel. Move on to the next one and move in. Etc, etc, etc. I can switch that off now. That is simple. And the way to know that you're at the right angle, if I loosen this one at the bottom, I've loosened that now, I can move this in any direction. And then I can see when I'm bringing the saw blade forward whether I'm at the right angle. By pure coincidence I've got it spot on. I can lock that up there now, and then I could carry on grinding. Right, that's face grinding. So far as the top, or grinding the tops, or some people call them the backs of the tooth, all we would have to do, if you look here, if you can see this lever at the back here, I can release that lever and then I can tilt this head 15 degrees. And as I said right at the beginning of this, 10 to 15 degrees is in 99.9% of cases the right angle. So I've released that lever, I can tilt this wheel, but I have to remove the guard, and you can only remove this guard with these screws, one at the bottom there where my finger is. And you're probably thinking, how on earth can I remove that screw? Because you couldn't possibly get a screwdriver there. But when you've tilted it 15 degrees, you can easily put a screwdriver, a fillet screwdriver in there, a posi-drive screwdriver. And you take the wheel off and turn the wheel round so that that's the face now for grinding the face of the tooth. Take that wheel off and turn it round. So you take it off like that, just focus the camera on my hand, take it off like that and turn it round and put it back on. And then theoretically you should put the guard back on. A lot of people don't bother for doing the tops. Then your wheel is pointing that way. And then you can just adjust this angle here to whatever angle it is, just to marry up the face of that, the face of the wheel, which will be on this side, and just marry it to this. But you're doing then every second tooth at 15 degrees. And then, if you've had it that way, then you drop it down and then you do the teeth in between. That's about all I need to tell you. All you have to do now, Brian, is practice, practice, practice. Get a couple of blades and practice. Like when you bought the other 3 machines from me, you have to get used to them when you were doing clippers and knives, etc. So just practice on an old saw blade. I'm sure you can pick up many. I can't think of anything more to tell you. Let me just have a look through my notes. So just going over it again. The machine is called the Güder, which is a German machine. 700p, which means 700 millimeters, 28 inches, maximum diameter. And I think the minimum diameter is round about 80 millimeters. You'll have an instruction manual with your machine. It's not here, it's on my desk, but it'll come with your machine. Start by doing the faces. Line up the face of the saw with the flat of the grinding wheel. And as I stress, when you're doing the faces, make sure levers 1, 2 and 3 are locked. When you're lining up to begin with, you can turn on this wheel. That's not locked at the moment. You can turn on this to bring the saw blade in or out. But that one must be slack for you to move the saw blade in or out. That's all I can say to you. I think that says most things. So hope you're very happy with your machine, and I hope you're growing tons and tons of saw blades. Thanks very much. You've got my number if you need me. 01254 235 266. Arthur@franklandgrinding.co.uk. Cheers. Best regards to Val, your wife. Bye bye.